Portugal versus Spain is easily one of the biggest matches of this FIFA World Cup. This is the kind of game most fans expected to see in the semifinals, or even the final, yet we're getting it in the round of 16. That means one of football's biggest nations will be heading home much earlier than expected, and that's exactly why this matchup feels so special. Portugal comes into this game with plenty of quality, but also a few question marks. They've shown moments of brilliance throughout the tournament, yet they haven't always looked completely convincing against stronger opponents. Their talent has never been in doubt, but consistency has. Against Spain, every small mistake could be punished. Spain, on the other hand, arrives with confidence. They've been one of the most complete teams in the competition so far. Their defensive organization has been outstanding, their midfield has controlled games, and they have looked comfortable in almost every tactical situation. Whether they have possession or are forced to defend, Spain has found answers throughout the tournament. History also adds another layer to this rivalry. Portugal has struggled against Spain in competitive matches over the years, although their victory in the 2025 Nations League final, even after penalties, proved they are more than capable of beating this Spanish side. That result gives Portugal belief, but World Cup knockout football is a completely different challenge. According to several statistical models, Spain enters this game as the slight favorite. Some simulations even give Spain close to a 50% chance of winning. But football isn't played by computers. Every World Cup reminds us that statistics only tell part of the story. Once the whistle blows, everything depends on execution, mentality, and who handles the pressure better. One thing we've learned throughout this tournament is that top teams rarely rush into knockout matches. Brazil, Argentina, Portugal, Spain, and several others have all started important games with patience instead of chaos. Rather than attacking recklessly from the first minute, they focus on controlling the tempo and limiting mistakes. There's a simple reason for that approach. Conceding an early goal completely changes the tactical picture. The team that falls behind is forced to take bigger risks, while the team in front can stay compact and wait for counter-attacking opportunities. That's why many coaches are perfectly happy reaching halftime with the score still level. The hydration breaks have also changed how managers think about matches. Instead of viewing the game as two halves, many now approach it as 4 separate phases. Every break allows tactical adjustments, changes in pressing intensity, and small corrections that can completely shift momentum. Because of that, don't expect Portugal and Spain to come flying out from the opening whistle. The first 20 to 30 minutes could be very controlled, with both teams trying to understand where the space is before committing numbers forward. Portugal's biggest concern remains defensive transitions. We've seen moments during this World Cup where quick counterattacks have caused them problems. Croatia exposed that at times, particularly during the second half, and Spain has the quality to punish those same weaknesses. That makes Portugal's defensive discipline incredibly important. Pedro Neto may not always receive the headlines, but his work without the ball makes him one of Portugal's most valuable players. His pressing, recovery runs, and willingness to help his fullback provide balance that doesn't always appear on the score sheet. Rafael Leão offers something completely different. He gives Portugal pace, creativity, and the ability to beat defenders one-on-one. If he's fully focused throughout the match, he can become one of Portugal's biggest attacking threats. The challenge is maintaining that intensity for the full game, especially when defensive work is required. Then there's Cristiano Ronaldo. Regardless of age or statistics, matches like these are exactly why players with his experience remain important. His movement inside the penalty area, leadership, and ability to score from very few chances still make him a player every defense must respect. Spain cannot afford to lose track of him, even for a second. Some people have suggested Gonçalo Ramos could start instead, after his impressive goal in the previous match. Ramos certainly offers more movement and pressing from the front, but it's difficult to imagine Portugal leaving Cristiano Ronaldo on the bench in one of the biggest games of the tournament. Ramos could become a fantastic option later if fresh legs are needed. Portugal's midfield is where the real discussion begins. Bruno Fernandes, Vitinha, and João Neves have the ability to compete with any midfield in world football. Bruno Fernandes remains the creative engine of Roberto Martinez's system. His vision, progressive passing, and willingness to play difficult forward balls make him Portugal's biggest chance creator. If Portugal is going to unlock Spain's defensive structure, Bruno will almost certainly be involved. Vitinha continues to be one of the most underrated players in this squad. He rarely forces impossible passes or takes unnecessary risks. Instead, he controls possession, recycles the ball, and constantly looks for intelligent line-breaking passes. Against Croatia, he repeatedly progressed the ball into dangerous areas, helping Portugal build attacks without losing control. João Neves adds energy, pressing, and late runs into the penalty area. His work rate allows Bruno and Vitinha to focus on controlling possession while still maintaining defensive balance. Spain's midfield, however, is equally impressive. Rodri has once again shown why he is considered one of the best holding midfielders in football. He protects the defense, controls the tempo, wins second balls, and almost never panics under pressure. Pedri brings something different. His intelligence between the lines, ability to escape pressure, and perfectly timed forward runs constantly create problems for opposing defenses. He doesn't always produce spectacular statistics, but his influence on Spain's attacking rhythm is enormous. Dani Olmo adds creativity in advanced areas, while Alex Baena has made a strong case for more playing time with his recent performances. Spain has options, and that's one of their biggest strengths. This could genuinely become the best midfield battle of the entire World Cup. Whoever controls the center of the pitch will likely control the match itself. Looking at Portugal's defense, Ruben Dias remains the leader at the back. Alongside Renato Veiga, he'll have the difficult task of tracking Spain's intelligent movement around the penalty area. Communication and positioning will be essential because Spain constantly rotates players into dangerous spaces. Nuno Mendes may have the toughest individual assignment of the night. Lamine Yamal has already spoken about how difficult Nuno Mendes is to play against, and that makes this duel even more exciting. Lamine loves attacking defenders one-on-one, while Nuno combines speed, strength, and excellent defensive timing. Spain will likely try to help Lamine by using Pedro Porro's overlapping and underlapping runs. Porro was outstanding in the previous match, constantly arriving in dangerous attacking positions. His movement could force Portugal's left side into difficult defensive decisions. On the opposite flank, Marc Cucurella's forward runs remain one of Spain's biggest weapons. That's another reason why Pedro Neto's defensive contribution could become so valuable. His ability to track runners may help Portugal prevent dangerous overloads. At right back, Roberto Martinez faces an interesting decision. João Cancelo offers outstanding quality going forward, but Nelson Semedo provides greater defensive security. Against a team like Spain, choosing the more balanced option wouldn't be surprising. Spain's defense has quietly been one of the best in the tournament. Pau Cubarsí has shown remarkable composure throughout the competition. Alongside Aymeric Laporte, he has helped build one of the strongest defensive partnerships in the World Cup. Now, though, comes his biggest challenge. Facing Cristiano Ronaldo is completely different from facing almost any other striker. Cristiano's movement, aerial ability, and experience constantly test defenders' concentration. Cubarsí has already expressed his admiration for Ronaldo, but once the match begins, respect disappears, and the focus shifts entirely to competition. Both goalkeepers also deserve huge credit. Diogo Costa has repeatedly saved Portugal in crucial moments. His calmness, positioning, and ability in penalty shootouts make him one of the tournament's standout goalkeepers. At the other end, Unai Simón has been just as reliable. Spain's defensive record isn't only because of the back four. Simón's consistency has played a massive role as well. Another key factor will be game management. Both teams understand that knockout football is often decided by moments rather than constant domination. A single mistake, a perfectly timed substitution, or one piece of individual brilliance can completely change the outcome. That's why the benches may become just as important as the starting lineups. Portugal has players like Francisco Conceição and Gonçalo Ramos who can change the rhythm of the match. Spain has quality options capable of adding fresh energy during the final stages as well. If this game remains level entering the final 30 minutes, substitutions could easily become the deciding factor. Emotion also plays a huge role. This could potentially be Cristiano Ronaldo's final FIFA World Cup appearance. Whether you're a Portugal fan or not, that's a significant moment in football history. Every great career eventually reaches its final chapter, and Ronaldo will surely be determined to extend his journey for at least one more round. Spain, meanwhile, represents the next generation. Lamine Yamal, Pedri, Cubarsí, and several other young stars are beginning to establish themselves on the biggest stage. This match feels like a meeting between experience and the future of European football. So who are the players to watch? For Portugal, Bruno Fernandes is my key player. Everything creative flows through him. His passing, vision, and decision-making will determine whether Portugal creates enough chances. Vitinha could quietly become the player who controls the game's rhythm. Cristiano Ronaldo remains the biggest goal threat. For Spain, Rodri is absolutely vital because he protects every phase of their play. Pedri controls the tempo. Lamine Yamal brings unpredictability. And don't overlook Mikel Oyarzabal, who has consistently delivered important performances throughout the tournament. So what's my prediction? I expect a very tactical first half with very few clear chances. The second half should open up as both managers make adjustments and fresh players arrive from the bench. Portugal definitely has enough quality to score if Bruno Fernandes, Leão, Vitinha, and Cristiano Ronaldo perform at their highest level. But based on everything we've seen throughout this World Cup, Spain has looked slightly more complete. Their balance, defensive structure, and midfield control give them a narrow edge. So over 90 minutes, or even after extra time, I'm leaning towards Spain. However, if this match goes all the way to penalties, everything changes. Diogo Costa has shown incredible composure in shootouts, and Portugal has every reason to believe it can win from the spot. Whatever the final result, this has all the ingredients of a World Cup classic. Two football giants, elite tactical battles, world-class players in every position, small margins that could decide everything. Now I want to hear from you. Who wins this massive showdown, Portugal or Spain? Drop your prediction and scoreline in the comments below. If you enjoyed this analysis, don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with your friends. Thank you so much for watching, enjoy the match, and I'll see you in the next video. Take care and peace.